Hi, I'm Sherry Strong, and welcome to Sweet Freedom Sunday. Is sugar natural? Well, the sugar industry would love you to believe that refined sugar is natural, and they really like to play on the fact that sugar does come from nature. All the sugar that we have obviously comes from nature, but there is a point in which it is no longer natural. And my way of distinguishing it, the return to food way, is if you cannot make it in nature, it is no longer natural. So there's lots of ways to actually go through a process of refining sugar, but there's a limit to where it's no longer a living food, where you've killed it, you've removed all the macro and micronutrients from it, and you've got this pure white substance. You definitely can't call that natural, because you would never make and create that in a natural environment. That requires machinery, it requires chemistry, and in the case of high fructose corn syrup, which I call the crack cocaine of the sugar world, it definitely, you could never ever make that in nature, because that involves genetic modification in the process. So totally unnatural. Here are some things to consider when you're having your sugar. The best sources are obviously in the whole food, where they're actually contained in a whole food. The sugars you want to kind of gravitate towards are the ones that are naturally occurring in nature, or as close to nature as you can get them. So definitely in whole foods, in fruits most of all. Things like maple syrup and raw honey. But you really want to get ethically procured and not highly processed versions of them. You can get lots of honey on supermarket shelves where the bees have been drugged, they've fed sugar water, they're not going to produce a good quality honey, and the production methods of extracting honey from bees that way is actually lowering their immune systems, making them weaker, and leading to being part of the process of bees becoming extinct. So really look for natural sugars. I like coconut palm sugar. Again, you want to make sure these sources are ethical, and there's lots of ways now to go online and find out whether things are being farmed sustainably. I love whole fruits that are dried as my sweeteners, so dates are a good one, but other fruits can actually work well. The thing you want to understand, and this is a big question in the sugar piece, I get this a lot, so can I have fruit? And if I can have fruit, how much of it can I have? Because a lot of people think, well, fruit's natural, therefore I can have tons of it. And what I taught in Return to Food is basically when you're starting to understand how much sugar you would eat in a natural environment. So if you think about over a period of 12 months, you had to grow all the fruit you're going to eat. Imagine if you're having a raspberry smoothie every single day of the year, how many bushes you'd have to grow, how much storage you'd have that in the freezer to last over a year. And you start to get an idea of how much fruit we're consuming that you never would actually do that in nature. So one, you want to look for the natural sources of sugar, look to whole foods, but also understand, if I was to actually procure and gather this myself, as I teach in the consumption concept, how much would I actually eat? And there you have it. You have, is sugar natural, and how to eat it naturally. Thank you for joining me on Sweet Freedom Sunday. For more tips, tools, and recipes to help you end sugar addiction for good, please go to sweetfreedom.ca, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday.